Tie in the middle and round on the sides. It is the Ohio Derby.
Trust the Profits is proud to be sponsored by Game of Silks. Go to silks.io to get in the game. Real ownership, real races, real rewards.
Trust the Profits. It is the formula here. Back from vacation. Ready to talk some more horses. Ladies and gentlemen, Derby Trail, the Triple Crown, that is now behind us for 2024. But there's still plenty of horse racing to talk about. Still plenty of fun to be had in the world of horse racing. And next up, we've got ourselves the Ohio Derby, Thistledown. Not one of the major tracks a lot of people focus on. It's not your Belmont, it's not your Churchill Downs, it's not Keeneland, it's not any host of other tracks that I could name for you right now. It is Thistledown. It is in Ohio. But we've got ourselves a pretty strong race here, a G3 500K. It'll be run this Saturday, June 22nd, as 10 horses entered in. Yes, Thistledown, as I mentioned before, in Ohio. They'll be going 9 furlongs. That is 1 1/8 mile on dirt. For 3-year-olds. Got some names that you might recognize. Got a special name from the Derby Trail that you probably recognize. A few of these horses, I guess you could say, were on the Derby Trail, but one in particular made it all the way to the Derby and is now in the Ohio Derby, the class of the race. We'll be getting to that horse in a second, but let's start with Frante. Yeah, so let's get you an Italian sparkler to start your day. Visante coming to you from Vino Rosso, 1 win in 9 races lifetime, broke his maiden after 7 attempts. Never run in a stakes race. Mainly runs out of Tampa Bay Downs. Last time out was in Parks, however, going a mile, getting second place in that mile race. A $50K allowance optional claimer at Parks, sitting in the back for half the race, making a strong charge, but did end up losing by a nose in that one. Runs a little bit closer to pace in most of his previous races. Frante, what you got for us? We'll see. Gould's Gold. Second place, the Sir Barton Stakes, Pimlico, going 8.5 furlongs in that one, stuck in the pace, losing by a nose to Corporate Power in that one. Gould's Gold, interesting horse to be playing here. Third place at the Bathhouse Row Stakes in Oak Lawn before that, starting in 5th, improving to 3rd, 3 lengths back from Informed Patriot. This is a McPeak horse. McPeak, heard that name before. BJ Hernandez, heard that name before. Yes. 2 involved with Mystic Dan winning the Derby. Are they going to repeat that gold here with Gould's Gold? Remains to be seen as well. Definitely an interesting play, I will say. We talked about there being a one horse in particular here that we saw at the Kentucky Derby that leaves the field wide open after that horse, assuming you think this horse that I have yet to name is going to be the winner, which I think it will be. A horse like Gould's Gold, definitely a live one here. Charleston. Formerly owned by Brad Cox, formerly trained by Brad Cox. Apologies. Formerly trained by Brad Cox, has moved on, I think twice since then. Landed with Michael Roan right now. Still has yet to break his maiden, last time out in February. Third place to Give Me a Reason by 6 lengths, an 8.5 furlong maiden special weight race. The biggest race we know him from, 9th place at the Southwest Stakes, starting out at the back, never really making a threat, 11th place. Before that in a maiden special. I mean, there's not a whole lot here to like about Charleston. Lovely city. The horse has yet to really show much. Curious entry here. Copper Tax. Okay, so Copper Tax. Yeah, this is a fun one. 7 wins in 10 races. All that outside of graded stakes racing. This is a G3. It's wide open. There's one major favorite, but a horse like Copper Tax looks very live here. Last time out, first place in the 9 furlong Federico Tessio Stakes, sitting in 6th for most of the race, slowly improving, beating Speediness by 3/4 of a length in that one. Also first place in 8.5 furlong Private Term Stakes, working his way up from 5th in that one. Going back to graded stakes races, Sam F. Davis got 10th in that one. Started in the back, was pushed a bit, so there's some contact. Pushed the outside, made no bid. And then, 5 wins in a row before placing 6th in the Remsen. 6th at the Remsen, battling with a number of horses, going 6 wide. Just had some trouble in a couple of those races. Got to think that was 7 wins, a couple black type wins, right? this is a horse that you're going to see do well in those graded stakes races at some point. This seems to be an area where the door could be left open for a Copper Tax. I'm kind of rooting for this horse. Really am. Would definitely like to see a horse like Copper Tax show up for a race like this. Uncle Heavy. So 6th place at the Preakness for Uncle Heavy. 3 wins in 6 races. Didn't get one at Preakness, obviously. Starting in the back, never really got going. 13 lengths behind Seize the Gray. And that one, Seize the Gray, seized the moment. 5th at the Wood Memorial. Got off to a bad start there. Wasn't 10th for most of the race, so getting up to 5th was actually somewhat of an achievement. And in those races, obviously never able to replicate what he got in the Withers, a first-place win. Starting out in 6th and improving up to 3rd down the stretch, and then closed for a nose win over El Grande O. So, Uncle Heavy, we're waiting to see that next big performance from Uncle Heavy. Didn't see it the last couple times out. This is definitely a drop down, I would say, from Preakness. Easily a drop down from Preakness, and possibly, I would say, a drop down from Wood Memorial as well. So this is a good spot for Uncle Heavy to make his mark. Deposition. I've yet to really see a whole lot from Deposition in the graded stakes attempts that he's made. Dead last in the Sir Barton. Last time out, allowance optional claimer win in Delaware Park. 5 horses, 2-length win, 40K winner. Doesn't do a whole lot in the class that we're looking at here. But yeah, dead last in the Sir Barton. Did not finish at the Wood Memorial after being vanned off. Thank goodness he's okay. Thank goodness he's able to race again. Thank goodness. Exactly. 6th at the Gotham, 4th at the Withers. I've yet to really see this horse make its mark in a graded stakes race. Now, a horse like Copper Tax, I at least see something there that I like about him, that he could end up, breaking through at some point. Deposition, it's a little bit tougher to see. Who's the king? So Savvy Joseph is shipping into Thistledown. Who's the King? 1 win for Who's the King in 7 races. Last time out in a starter allowance race, going 8.5 furlongs at Churchill. 6th place, was in 3rd for a good chunk of the race and just faded towards the end and finished 6th. Broke his maiden before that, the 50K maiden optional claimer, going a mile, pushing to the front after 3/4 miles, closing for a 7-length win. So bouncing back and forth between mostly maiden special weight and maiden claimers. Eventually did break through in a maiden claimer with a big win, a 7-length win in that race, going a mile. I just don't know if he's ready for this level yet. A G3 going 9 furlongs for a horse that was fading in his last time out. I'm not too high on Safi here. Catching Freedom. Here we go. This is the horse that we were talking about. 3rd at the Preakness. A lot of people liked him to win in the Preakness. I was one of them. I liked him to win in the Preakness. Didn't do it. 2.25 lengths behind Seize the Gray in that one, neck and neck with Mystic Dan right behind. So looking pretty good there, neck and neck with the Derby winner. But obviously Seize the Gray seized the moment and got the victory there. 4th at the Derby. Less than 2 lengths behind the winner there. The winner obviously being Mystic Dan with Seize the Gray right there and Forever Young. I am not going to play a clip of Forever Young. Yeah, thank you, Rod Stewart, you jerk, giving us a copyright ding for using like a split second of your song. Moving on. So he's at the top level, G1s. Battling it out, definitely a deep closer. Showed it to us in the Louisiana Derby, going 9.5 furlongs in that one, overtaking Track Phantom, holding off Honor Marie for a 1-length victory in that one. 3rd place at the Risen Star, going 9 furlongs in that one, losing to Sierra Leone, 2 lengths. Brad Cox, Louis Saez on the mount in this one, not Flavian Pratt. It'll be interesting to see what happens here with Catching Freedom. It'll be more interesting to see what his post-time odds are. Is he going to go down at 1? I think this is going to be a heavy favorite here. The rest of the horses don't seem to have the same class as Catching Freedom. Baton Down, Wilmot. 1 win, 2nd, 1/3 in 4 races. Broke his maiden at CD, going 10 furlongs in a maiden special weight race. 4th attempt, got a gate to wire win. So 1st place all the way around, 10 furlongs, winning by 8 lengths. That's impressive. I don't normally take a horse going into a graded stakes race like this late in the season with 3-year-olds, where a lot of these have already gone through number of non-maiden races. But that to me was a pretty impressive win, going a long distance, gate to wire, and beating the rest of the field by about 8 lengths. For that, half a length back in a maiden special weight, 8.5 furlong race at Keeneland. Before that, second place in a 9 furlong maiden special at GP, setting the pace and losing by a neck to Corporate Power. This to me feels like a strong value play here. Not sure the odds yet. We're still waiting on those, but Baton Down, I like it here. And Mugatu. One win in 13 races, dead last at Preakness, did not match the class. 5th at Bluegrass after sitting in 5th most of the race. Yeah. 8th at the Rushway Stakes, sitting in 8th the whole race, having no punch at the end. This is a horse that it's going to be sort of your rich strike-like horse. Either has a strong close where he makes a showing, a deep close, or he has nothing. But anyone who has predicted him to do something big has failed so far. This is one of those horses where if he hasn't shown it to me yet, I'm not expecting to see much because he seems to be regressing, if anything. So not high on Mugatu. That brings us to the end. Your safe play, obviously, is Catching Freedom. The horse I'm high on that I think is going to be a value pick. Depends what they set the odds at. Depends how people bet them. But Baton Down, to me, seems like your second pick. In terms of value, what am I thinking? Maybe a 4-1, maybe better. Just coming off of a maiden win. Or a horse like Uncle Heavy may end up getting a little bit more. There's a couple other horses that we talked about in here. For example, the Gold's Gold, Ken McPeak horse. That could be another horse that ends up drawing some money. So there's room for Baton Down, I think, to end up getting a little bit of a value play for you here. After that, I do like Uncle Heavy. I'm still waiting to see his next big race. Maybe it comes now in Ohio, and then Copper Tax. Got a special place in my heart for Copper Tax. So there you go. If I'm going to key a horse, I'm going to key Catching Freedom. If I'm going to play value, I'm going Baton Down. And then you've got Uncle Heavy and Copper Tax after that. So what do you guys have as your plays for Ohio Derby? Let us know in the comments. As always, hit the subscribe button. Let us know what you think, and good luck to you.